Hello everyone, and this is What If Deku Had Solo Leveling Part 5. So, let's continue. After finding a quote-unquote suitable dungeon for his rank, Deku on the next day would have went to the location of the gate, which was in the middle of a construction site. And when Deku arrived, the leader of the team would have greeted Deku, saying that his name is Natsuo Todoroki and is the leader of this team, him asking Deku if he is the E-rank hunter known as Izuku Midoriya, which after confirming, Natsuo would have given Deku, well, basically given Deku a contract. However, while that was happening, the rest of Natsuo's teammates would have recognized Deku, them basically laughing at Deku for being the world's weakest hunter. This, of course, irritating Deku a bit. But before they can laugh at Deku even more, Natsuo would have stopped them, saying that right now they are all equals and should not look down on each other. After saying that, Natsuo would have continued to explain to Deku about the contract. Him saying that since this gate is a C rank, it will be hard for Deku to fight, so he is not required to fight, along with paying him $1,500 for filling up the member count. By the way, that $1,500 is in USD. And after signing the contract, Deku would have noticed that there is a girl in, well, luxurious armor walking up towards him, saying that her name is Momo Yaoyorozu, and that she is a D rank. Deku thinking, this girl, what's with the shining armor? Wait, Yaoyorozu, that last name, isn't that the owner of a very big company that creates equipment? Both hero equipment and hunter equipments, right? Deku putting this thought aside, he asked, so what am I going to do? Natsuo saying, oh, nothing much, you just have to carry our bags. Wait, there's no healers? Yes, no healers. You have no idea how hard it is to find a healer hunter to work in a personal raid team. But aren't you a Todoroki? Just because I'm a Todoroki doesn't mean that I will use that name. Deku thinking, oops, looks like I touched a nerve. Okay, never to talk about his last name. Got it. Now, after 5 minutes of preparing, everyone would have been prepared to go into the gate. And while they were moving closer to the gate, Momo asked Deku if he would be fine carrying those large bags, which Deku just says, yes, I'm fine, I can carry them. As when they arrive in front of the gate, Deku, seeing the giant gate, would have thought, whoa, that gate is big. Momo saying, the gate looks a bit too big, but it should be fine, right? Natsuo saying, is this your first time? A gate's size is not that important. The important thing is the magic that flows out of it. The guild will determine the amount and quality of the energy and give it a rank. Deku thinking, although that is the case, it is still my first time seeing a C-rank gate. Natsuo announcing, alright everyone, I'm heading in first. Everyone follow me. Now, whenever everyone is inside the gate, it is very dark, which is a bit odd, since in every single dungeon there should at least be a bit of light, no matter if it is torches or stones that give off light. Another weird thing with this dungeon is that there is no monster in sight. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this, but whenever everyone went into the dungeon and or went through the gate, seeing that the entire dungeon is dark, one of Natsuo's teammates would have lit up the room under the dungeon with a fireball. Momo saying, "Are there dungeons with no monsters?" However, Deku would have just shushed Momo, saying that he is trying to listen for movements. Him thinking, if there are no lights in a dungeon, that means the monsters in there like the darkness. Normally, it's hard for monsters to live in a dark dungeon, but if they have intellect, that means it's possible that the monsters don't depend on sight. Wait, this... the sound! Deku yelling, "It's insect-type monsters!" Natsuo saying, "Insect types?" This causing the entire team to be on guard, as Deku would yell, "Above!" With everyone looking up, they would see tens upon hundreds of ants coming down from the hole from above. Natsuo yelling, "Blast them! Get them off the ceiling!" As the entire team of C-rank hunters would start to fight and kill every single ant that is in front of them. Deku thinking, their team, even though there are no healers, their teamwork is very good. If it is this much, they can create a force with no healer. Judging by their teamwork, they must have been fighting for a long time together. Deku, noticing that Momo is having a bit of trouble against ants, he would have thought, Momo Yairozu, her equipment is good, so her lack of skills and experience are cancelled out. Everyone's doing well, but Deku, noticing that there's an ant trying to ambush him, he just turned around and kicked that ant in the face, which would have killed it. Him continuing to think, it's a bit frustrating since I can't level up as good. Now, after clearing off the ants, Natsuo would have thanked Deku for basically warning them of what's going to happen next. As after dissecting every single ant from the useless parts to useful parts, along with storing them, everyone would have continued to move deeper into the dungeon. Now, after moving through the entire dungeon, everyone would have came across the boss room, and or the place where the boss live. However, when they arrived, they would have saw a buttload of magic crystals, and or mana crystals, with Natsuo's teammates being thrilled to see that they actually hit the jackpot. They told Natsuo that on first glance, these magic crystals should at least be worth 45,000 USD. However, Natsuo just points to the ceiling, saying, "Why do all of you only care about money when your life is at stake?" Everyone looking up to see a massive spider that has nestled into its webs. Natsuo continuing to say, "I believe we should kill it before we mind." However, one of Natsuo's teammates would have said, "No, last time we lost $10,000 just because you killed the boss first, so no, we are going to mine first and then kill the boss. Plus, since it has been sleeping through our shouts, I'm sure it'll be fine." Natsuo trying to warn his teammates about the danger of leaving the boss alive while mining. Deku, while Natsuo and his teammates are arguing, would ask Momo if her equipments are very expensive. To which Momo nods, saying that since this is her first time joining a raid, her father took extra precautions. Deku saying, "I'm not sure, but you should be careful." What's going on? If I'm not wrong, those people over there, they are very greedy, and they would do anything just to earn one more dollar. Now, back over with Natsuo and his teammates, him along with one of his teammates, which I'm just going to call Cyrus? Actually, no, let's call him Connor. Connor, along with Natsuo, would have been arguing with each other. Connor saying, arguing with you is not gonna change anything, so I'm just going to ask you this question, Natsuo Todoroki. Are you with us, or are you not? Huh? What do you mean with you? Let me rephrase that. Are you going to help us mind before killing the boss, or are you just going to go kill the boss and then help us mind? I prioritize safety before profits. Fine, but before that, I would like to go somewhere. Go where? I would like to go to the toilet, okay? After seeing that thing, how can you not be scared? We are inside a gate. How are you gonna find a toilet? I know we're in a gate. That's why I'm leaving and then coming back, okay? Can you just guard the boss room? Fine. But you better come back within 10 minutes. At most 15, okay? Yep, got it. However, just as Connor was about to leave the entrance, the rest of Natsuo's teammates would have followed Connor. Natsuo being confused, asking, wait, where are you guys going? However, ignoring Natsuo, his teammates would continue to walk towards the entrance. Natsuo continuing to say, hey, I asked you a question. And just as every teammate reached the entrance, Connor would have said, to answer your question, Natsuo, the place we're going is not that important, but the important thing is that we now have 3 less shares. Wait, what? Connor, using a fireball, he would aim it at the top of the entrance, firing it and causing the entrance to collapse, basically trapping Natsuo, Deku, along with Momo with the boss. Natsuo having to run at the blocked entrance, he would try to use his quirk, which is generating ice, to try and freeze the blocked entrance, break it, and then escape. However, while Natsuo is trying his best to break through the entrance and escape, Deku was thinking, betraying others because of greed. Couldn't say it's not unexpected. Deku, walking up to the blocked entrance, he would put his hand on the blocked entrance and think, wow, he blocked it off pretty well. Getting out isn't that big of a problem, but that thing woke up because of that blast. Now that is the problem. Natsuo, while he was trying to freeze the blocked entrance, he would have felt something big, strong, and has a lot of killing intent behind him. Natsuo turning around and seeing the giant spider being awakened, he would say, the boss, it's awakened. Damn it, how could they throw away lives just to gain a bit more money? Yairozu, Midoriya, get behind me. I'll think of a plan to defeat this thing. Deku thinking, judging by its enormous size, its strength is on another level. Deku, flashing back to those giant stone statues, he will continue thinking, another level you say? What idiotic nonsense. Deku, putting down the bag that he had on him, he would continue to walk forward, walking past Momo and Natsuo while saying, Yairozu, Natsuo, stay there. That one is mine. Immediately after saying that, Rasaka's fang would appear in Deku's right hand. Momo saying, wait, Midoriya, what are you trying to do? Simple. Kill it. Natsuo saying, have you gone mad? You're going to try kill that thing? That is a C-rank boss. It is impossible for you to kill it alone, not to mention you're an E-rank. How are you going to? Instead of yelling at me, just think of a way to escape. However, even though he says that, Deku knows that Natsuo is right, him thinking, even after reawakening, I'm still weak. Though, I wonder why I don't feel pressure that's enough to bring me to my knees. The blue poison fangs Rasaka I met in the instant dungeon, it was strong for a boss that is the level of an E rank. It's possible that it is higher than D rank, and the golem was D rank or lower. In comparison to them, this is unbelievably strong. It probably means that I've become strong enough to not become intimidated in the face of a C rank boss. Deku smirking as the giant spider would actually roar at Deku. It starting to crawl at Deku. Deku continuing to think, my current level is 18, a C rank boss. It's doable. Deku rushing towards the spider, he would slide on the ground and using Rasaka's fang, he would jam it into the underbelly of the spider. Him being able to drag the Rasaka's fang across the entire underbelly of the spider, Deku would have gotten back up on the other side of the spider thinking, my tact worked? Rasaka's fang. It's a pretty cool weapon, isn't it? And as the spider turns its entire body to face towards Deku, Deku would have said, the real hunt begins now. As Deku and the giant spider were having their own epic battle, Momo Yaoyorozu and Natsuo Todoroki is just standing right next to the entrance thinking, that's an E rank hunter? Back with Deku, while he was dodging the giant legs and or leg attack of the giant spider, he would have been trying to attack it with Rasaka's fang. However, it seems to be ineffective, him thinking, okay, its skin is thick. If I want to damage it with Rasaka's fang, I will have to dig as deep as possible. As Deku dodges another leg attack of the spider, he will continue thinking, problem, it has no blind spot. Along with that, the spider has 8 legs, with each leg being able to pierce through the floor or rocks. Every single attack is threatening. It's going to take a bit of time to get close to it. While that was happening, Natsuo, who is on the sidelines, would have been thinking, just what is this person? An E rank hunter? No, there's no way. The rank he submitted to the guild was definitely E rank, but those moves are not of an E rank. How can he? No, could he be a false ranker? Among the hunters, there are some who can control the presence of their magic power. If they want to, they can lower their rank in the evaluation. Hunters who conceal the presence of their power on purpose to get a lower rank are usually called false rankers. However, the problem is, false rankers are usually psychopaths who kill as their hobby. Natsuo seeing Deku's relentless attack at the boss, he would say, first I got betrayed by my teammates, and now the E rank that I recruited is a psychopath? What have I done with my life? Is this karma? Momo asking, a psychopath you say? No, he's not one. Even though he may be a false ranker, he is definitely not a psychopath. You know what a false ranker is? Of course I do. Even though this is my first time joining a team to clear a gate, I am still fairly knowledgeable in these aspects. Also, judging by how he acts before, he is definitely not a psychopath. So don't just assume that just because he's a false ranker, he is going to be a psychopath. Fine. Let's just hope that you're right. Back with Deku, while he is continuing to fight the boss, he would think, how long has it been? 5 minutes? No, 10? I don't think my stamina is enough, and I didn't even deal a lot of damage to it. My fatigue is at 55. No, it's now 57. The higher my fatigue is, the lower my speed becomes. I cannot drag out this fight any longer. There's only one way to win. I need to use paralyze and bleed on this guy. Deku, rushing towards the head of the spider, he would try to jam the Rasaka's fang into the spider's head to try and inflict the effects, which are, paralyze and bleed. However, just as he was about to run towards the head of the spider, Deku would notice some green liquid coming off of the spider's mouth. Him immediately jumping back and realizing that those green liquids are acid. Deku thinking, that guy was hiding his trump card? My time will run out if this goes on. I need to end this as fast as I can. I need to close the distance with movements faster than just now. Just faster. As Deku's active skill, Sprint, would have been activated. This resulting in his movements being increased by 30%. Just then, in an instant, Deku would have closed the distance between him and the giant spider. Him continuing to attack the spider without giving it any chance of resting. While Deku was attacking, 2 windows would have popped up saying, Effect, Paralyze has activated. The enemy's resistance was too high. The effect was cancelled. However, as a result of using Sprint and increasing the rate of his attacks, Deku's fatigue is increasing at a faster rate, causing his fatigue to increase from 57 to 70 within a few seconds. And just as Deku's fatigue reached 70, his movements starts to slow down, which caused Deku to be hit by one of the giant legs of the giant spider. Deku being sent flying into the wall behind him, he would remember that even though he did finish his daily quest, he did not accept all of the rewards yet. Him saying, status recovery, accept. Just as Deku finished saying that, in a blink of an eye, Deku disappeared and reappeared in front of the boss's eyes. Him jamming Raikon's fang into the boss's head and inflicting paralyze and bleed. Him continuing to slash away at the boss's face while Windows pops up, saying things like, Effect, Paralyze has activated. Effect, Bleed has activated. Your foe will lose 1% health every 1 second. And last but not least, a window saying, the dungeon boss has been slain. Of course, along with, you leveled up, which, by the way, appeared for 3 times. Now, upon seeing Deku literally soloing a boss and winning, Momo, along with Natsuo, who are right next to the entrance, would be, well, both in a confused state and also a bit relieved. Natsuo saying, that's impossible. He really took down the boss by himself? Izuku Midoriya, just what are you? Momo asking, Midoriya? Yeah, what is it? Thank you for saving us, but may I ask a question? Sure? Midoriya, just who are you? Deku thinking, how am I supposed to answer that question? What, am I supposed to say I'm me? Momo continuing to say, the dungeon boss you just killed is a C rank. It would prove difficult for even B ranks to kill it alone. Not to mention that you're an E rank, so just Why are you so strong? And who are you? But just as Momo finished saying that, Deku would feel something coming from behind the entrance and/or the blocked entrance. Him immediately rushing towards Momo and Natsuo, trying to get them to safety, which would of course confuse both Natsuo and Momo. But within a second of Deku grabbing Momo and Natsuo, then jumping back, the entrance and/or the blocked entrance would have exploded, revealing that Connor and the rest of Natsuo's teammates have arrived and/or returned. Them being surprised to see that Natsuo, Momo, and Deku are still alive, and the boss and/or the giant spider is dead. Connor saying, to see that all three of you survived and actually killing the boss without us. How absurd. Deku putting down both Natsuo and Momo. Natsuo would say, "You bastards, I trusted you, all of you, and you betray me? I treated all of you like my own brothers. And you just left me here to die just because of a few profits? Shut up. It's a shame that you actually survived, Natsuo. But since you did actually survive, how about this? Instead of shouting at us and venting your anger, here's a deal. If you kill those two that are beside you, then we will let you join our team and continue being the leader, and forget that this ever happened. How about it?" "Why would I take that deal?" "Because you will." Just then, a window would pop up in front of Deku saying, "An emergency quest has been issued." Deku, seeing this, would be confused, thinking, "Wait, this is..." However, just as Deku thought that, and before he can even react, an ice pillar would have been shot and sent into Deku's face, which caused Deku to be sent flying back and into the wall of the dungeon. Momo, seeing what Natsuo just did, she would say, "Midoriya! Natsuo, why did you do that?" With Deku being inside the wall and is covered by, well, ice shards, he would think and only ask one question. Why? 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 Why did I forget that? This place focuses on the survival of the fittest more than anywhere else. I'm so naive. My thinking was wrong until now. With Deku flashing back to the countless times he fought against monsters in dungeons and/or gates, he will continue thinking, "Those many times I've entered dungeons, I stepped past my limit, healed, and then entered a dungeon again. I always mistook this place for a safe one." With a window appearing in front of Deku saying, "Emergency quest, kill the enemies. There are entities nearby that intend to murder the player. Slay them and ensure your safety. If this quest is not completed, your heart will stop. Enemies required to be killed. 8. Enemies killed. 0. Deku continuing to think, "Enemies. The system is forcing me to murder. Kill if you don't want to be killed. This isn't a coincidence, nor goodwill. This is what the system needs. A strong Izuku Midoriya. It's not going to make me strong. I saw that it wanted me to be strong." Deku getting back up and saying, "It's great that it's clear now. The system uses me, and I use the system." Connor saying, Natsuo, are you really that weak after fighting the boss? Natsuo being surprised and shocked while thinking, I put my all into the attack, yet he struck it off like nothing? That's impossible. He should at least be tired after fighting the boss, right? Deku, walking towards Natsuo and the rest of his teammates, he would say, you played around a person's life, so are you ready to face the consequences? Connor saying, what is he saying? Deku continuing to say, if you guys are hunters, I'm saying you should be ready to be hunted. Just as Deku said that, a dark aura would appear from around his body, along with his eyes turning from green to dark blue. However, one of Natsuo's teammates would jokingly walk towards Deku saying, hey kid, looks like you don't understand the situation very well. But just as that guy wrapped his arm around Deku's shoulder, Raikan's fang would appear in Deku's right hand. Him putting the dagger at the neck of that guy, Deku would have swiftly sliced off the guy's head, which of course surprised everyone. Deku saying, that's one. With a window popping up saying, enemies required to be killed, 7. Enemies killed, 1. Deku thinking, I actually killed a person, a human. Although I can say that the system ordered me to, it doesn't change the fact that I killed someone. But if I don't kill, I will be killed. I can't run away anymore. If only the strong will survive, I will become the strongest. Now, Connor, seeing that Deku literally just killed someone in front of them, he would say, everyone, don't let your guard down. Even though we don't know what you did, Izuku Midoriya, we will kill you. Just as Connor said that, the rest of Natsuo's teammates would be on guard and getting ready to fight, with Connor lifting up his right arm and pointing it at Deku. He would release a fireball at Deku. However, Deku would just move out of the way and in front of Connor, him saying, your magic is annoying. As in a fraction of a second, Deku would have sliced Connor into multiple pieces, and of course killing Connor. With the rest of Natsuo's teammates rushing towards Deku, Deku would have swiftly killed every single one of them, either by slicing their throat and killing them on the spot, or just let the effect of Raikan's fan kill them. Witnessing his teammates being killed one by one, Natsuo would just stand there in fear, as after all of his teammates died, Natsuo would know that he is next, which is why when Deku finished killing the last of Natsuo's teammates and is turning around towards Natsuo, instead of trying to fight Deku, he would have gotten on the ground and begging for Deku. Him asking for Deku to let him live and that this is not his fault, along with that he is forced to do so. Him continuing to explain that even though he is called Natsuo Todoroki, he currently is no longer a part of the Todoroki family, and the reason for that is that Natsuo left the family in search of his brother. Him also saying that he joined this team to find enough money for the search. Deku standing in front of Natsuo and putting Raikan's fang right on his neck, he would say, Natsuo Todoroki, your father is Endeavor, right? Yes, he is.
Please don't kill me. If you do, he won't forgive you, and he'll hunt you down. You said you left the family, right? Why would he even care? Because I'm still his son. Please, don't kill me. Sorry, even Endeavor cannot save you. As at that very moment, Deku sliced off Natsuo's head. Deku thinking, my clothes are a mess again. Well, I mean the size isn't matching anymore, so I guess I'll just buy new ones. Huh? Deku, hearing something behind him, he would just turn around, only to find that Momo Yaoyorozu is currently vomiting at the sight of human blood, and or at the sight of a human corpse. And before Deku can do anything else, he would feel that the dungeon is shaking and or collapsing. Him telling Momo that since the boss is defeated, the dungeon is closing, and that they should leave as soon as they can. And while Deku is leaving the dungeon, a message and or a window would have popped up saying, Quest reward. Emergency quest. Kill the enemies. Completion conditions have all been met. Will you receive the reward? With Deku accepting the rewards, another window would have popped up saying, Quest rewards. Reward number 1, status recovery. Reward number 2, experience point plus 10. Reward number 3, skill, bloodlust. And if you're wondering what bloodlust does, look at the screen. Now, we'll cut to somewhere else in Japan, with a man who has half white, half red hair waking up from his dreams. Him thinking, huh? Why are my eyes wet? Did I have a bad dream? As I believe that this will be a good place to end this part. If you guys want part 6 to What If Deku Had Solo Leveling, then help me reach, let's say, 35 likes on this video. If it does, then I'll record and upload part 6 to What If Deku Had Solo Leveling as fast as I can. And yeah, I believe that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed and have a nice day.